When you parent, it's crucial that you realize that you aren't raising a mini-me, but rather a spirit throbbing with its own signature. Dr. Shefali. I was amazed when I saw Dr. Shefali speak live in person at Mind Valley. She's an incredible thought leader, has millions of views across her social medias, and is the best-selling author of multiple books. I absolutely love her point of view on parenting, and it's one I'll definitely need to implement in the long term, because obviously I don't have kids yet. But for the purposes of this YouTube video, I'll be sharing and breaking down Dr. Shefali's incredible ability to communicate and disseminate ideas so that we can learn from her expertise too. So let's get parenting. Well, actually, let's get into the communication, Number 1, reflect on how you pronounce each word of your speech. Shefali's ability to communicate ideas is summarized in one word: magical. It's almost as if she spent an hour thinking about each word in her entire speech. Going back to the quote that I shared earlier, you aren't raising a mini-me, you're raising a spirit thriving and throbbing with its own signature. Every single nuance is thought of in advance. And this is why world-class speakers are so much better than us at communication, because they spend all of those hours on one single presentation. Whereas when we practice communication, we're generally switching from presentation to presentation. Whereas what Shefali has done with her expertise on parenting, on how to share those ideas with the world, she's really looking at every sentence, every little thing that comes out of her mouth, and analyzing it with a microscope and saying, is this the right sentence that I should be saying? And not just the word, but the tonality, the nuance, the pacing of every word is thought of in advance. So what does it mean for all of us? It means pay attention, not just to the speech, but to every little word in the speech, every little nuance, until everything is a living masterpiece. Number 2, combine different qualities of speaking and put them all together until you have a communication style that only fits you. Dr. Shefali's ability to communicate and convey ideas is truly unique. She's very aggressive, very direct, and spells doom for the parents who listen to her speeches, where she explains that if you don't change yourself and you don't make yourself a better human being, your children will have miserable lives. But she says it in such a soothing way that you almost enjoy the pain of listening to her and realizing that I need to change my life. And what I enjoy about Shefali's sarcastic, aggressive, yet calm approach is that I don't really hear her sound, her way of doing things with another speaker. So what does it mean for us? Let's say you want to date someone. Sure, we might meet someone who's smart. We might meet someone who's charismatic. But if we meet someone who's both smart and charismatic, it's that combination that creates rarity. It's that combination of different qualities within one person that really makes us say, wow, this person isn't just smart or just charismatic or just friendly and generous. They're all of the above. What a catch. Apply the same analogy in dating in communication. What are the different qualities that you have as a communicator? Write that list down. Are you sarcastic? Are you funny? Do you like smiling a lot? Are you good at vocal tone projections? Do you like telling jokes that a lot of people might not like? Make a list of those qualities and make sure you're embodying all of them in one speech so that it creates uniqueness in the way that you convey ideas, and people will not be able to associate you or compare you to any other speaker. Here's a quote that summarizes this thought well. To be the best is great because you're the best one, but to be unique is better because you're the only one. And finally, number 3, extreme confidence often leads to better ways and unique ways of sharing your message with the world. What I love about Dr. Shefali is she is not afraid to lay it down and spit out the facts. I'll give you a great example that is a signature Shefali quote. Don't fix the kid, fix yourself. Because if you become a better parent, the child will grow up to be great. And I love that perspective that Shefali has. Even if some of her advice is off-putting to many parents and people in general, it's her confidence in her message that allows her to disseminate and take those risks for the general public. And that's why a lot of us don't find Shefali to be controversial at all. But if she said these aggressive statements and wasn't sure about them or convicted in them, that's when we can start poking holes in their logic. So in other words, what I'm trying to say here is when we take more risks, we find unique ways of sharing an idea that no one else has done before. Take me as an example. I went from talking about regular common communication tips to comparing communication to rappers, to roses, to train rides, to dancing. Who in the world does that? And that's the point. When you start to take bigger risks and you become much more audacious in the message you want to share with the world, that's when you start to find the real gold, the real way of sharing an idea that sticks. So take the risk that no one in your industry is willing to take so you can reap the rewards that no one is going to get except for you. Shefali's revolutionary work in conscious parenting and her magical way of sharing ideas has been a massive influence to the way that I try to create magical experiences with my own. And taking the dull, boring content that communication might be into something more exciting, something more accessible to the general public. And I hope through this video that you found that magic that you need to take your ideas and make them magical for your audiences as well. As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of Master Talk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And if you know someone who's looking to be a better parent, send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to mastering their communication skills and hopefully their parenting skills too. Take care.